how are you doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you own a home right now, there's a strong chance you have more equity than you realize. And for many homeowners, that equity has grown faster in the last few years than at almost any other time. Prices have continued to increase, inventory remains low in many areas, including ours, and the combination has quietly put a lot of sellers in a very strong position. Even people who bought just a few years ago are often surprised by how much their home is worth today compared to what they owe. And that is what equity is at its core. It's the gap between your home's current market value and your remaining loan balance. Now, if you don't have a loan, it's even better. It's still equity. It's still the value that's in your home. What makes today different is how quickly that gap has widened. Continued price increases mean values are higher, while years of mortgage payments have reduced the balance. You're getting it from both directions. The market's going up and your balance is going down. Plus, that low inventory has added even more pressure on prices because when there are fewer homes available, buyers compete harder for the ones that do come on the market. So that competition often translates into stronger offers for sellers. This is compounded by the homeowners' low interest rates right now. For example, my interest rate is 2.875. That was a really good interest rate. We got it right before COVID, I think. We went ahead and refinanced. That, as you may know, is a time period when there was a whole bunch of interest rates that were really low. I've heard people getting even below 2%. And that's why a lot of sellers don't want to sell right now, and that's why we don't have a lot of inventory to sell. They don't want to have to go turn around and buy something at a higher interest rate. So that is one reason why this whole thing has played out between the increasing value of the home, the sellers not wanting to sell, and therefore there's not that inventory and the prices keep going up. So one of the biggest advantages sellers have right now is that leverage. With fewer homes for sale, well-priced properties tend to get more attention, more showings, and in many cases, more than one interested buyer. Multiple offers are always a good thing for sellers, because they have people to choose from, they have details to choose from, and usually they're going to get the best deal themselves because they have more people asking to buy their home. That dynamic can lead to cleaner offers, shorter days on the market, and better overall terms for sellers. Now, with the significant equity that's in your home, this can also mean that you're walking away from the sale of your home with a couple options. You can consider moving up, you can consider downsizing, you can go wherever you want, relocate, go closer to family, move to the city, or even just buy with a larger down payment, or maybe buy all in cash. Another important place is how equity impacts that next move. Many sellers today are using that built-up equity to offset higher interest rates on their next purchase. You can use that large down payment to help reduce your monthly payments, or you can use that money to buy down your interest rate. When you're talking about buying down interest or paying points, you're basically paying your interest ahead of time. And they've proven that that is the best way as a buyer to save money on your loan, is to get sellers to pay for your points rather than have them pay your closing costs. So remember that the next time you get ready to buy something. But with this equity, you're going to be able to expand your buying power, and then you don't necessarily have to do a contingent offer. You can consider doing a bridge loan while you're waiting for your house to sell, depending on the market that you're in. But that equity is going to give you flexibility, and that flexibility is incredibly valuable in this competitive market. Low inventory also changes the conversation around timing. In markets where supply remains tight, sellers are not competing against dozens of similar listings. If there's not a bunch of houses out there to choose from, a buyer that's in a hurry, maybe they have a job, maybe they have to get in school, they're probably going to sell for something that's not perfect, but will work. So that scarcity works in favor of homeowners who are prepared and priced correctly. So it's important that you get your price right the first time, because they may find something else that's less expensive that works just as well. So even homes that might have sat on longer in the past are seeing solid activity simply because buyers have fewer choices. So for many sellers, this environment creates an opportunity that didn't exist just a few years ago. We always know we talk about COVID, but that's probably about when things really started to turn around. And for example, this year, there was kind of a lull in autumn. I almost always say it's going to happen right around when school starts in August. Everybody's focused on getting back in school, back into a normal routine. And so they're not focused on moving, and plus they don't want to move after they just started school. So we usually see a lull there, but sometimes it picks up in October and November, but I really didn't see that this year. So that's why the inventory is staying low, because buyers' activity is not picking up. And sometimes sellers will take their property on the market, off the market, to put it back on in the spring so that it has a better chance to really get out there new, because spring and summer are the best times to be selling. Now, additionally on that, the federal rate has reduced interest rates, and therefore banks have reduced interest rates. They actually reduced them before the Fed. But interest rates are lower, inventory is down, and prices are continuing to be up. So those are all great things for a seller and the equity in their home. Equity growth is not limited to long-term owners either. Appreciation over these last several years has allowed newer homeowners to build equity much faster than expected. This has opened the door for moves that once would have required more time or savings. If you could go back in time, it'd be a great time to do a flip, because you could buy it, make the improvements, and then go ahead and sell it for a gain. Selling now can allow those gains to be realized instead of left unrealized on paper, especially if you have made improvements that you can really see a return on your investment. It's a great time to sell, even if you just bought a few years ago. Of course, selling is not the right move for everyone, but understanding how much equity is available right now is critical first step. That's what I want to press upon you the most. And there are some people that don't realize how much their home is right now. You are sitting on the gold mine, probably. Knowing that number helps clarify your options and removes that guesswork from the decision. Even homeowners who choose not to sell immediately are still going to benefit from understanding how today's market has strengthened their position. So that's why reaching out to your local expert can help you decide your next move. Your favorite local realtor can help you see your home's potential, whether you sell today or next year or in 5 years. I do want to mention that I want to be real with you. You know I'm a cheapskate, so equity in your home isn't just free money to do whatever you want with. Yes, you can get a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, or a home equity loan, and get money out of that equity and decide if you're going to stay there, make some improvements. But if you treat your home like an ATM and pull out every cent of equity to buy a vacation or a car or an RV, you're putting your roof at risk, literally. If the market dips and you owe more than the house is worth, now you're underwater. And the goal is to use your equity to build more wealth, not to fuel a lifestyle you can't afford. So make sure you use it wisely for your assets and always keep a buffer. For those of you who are not ready to sell yet or want to be even more intentional with your home's value, there are ways you can continue building equity moving forward. Be sure to watch the video that walks through practical strategies to grow even more equity over time. So whether you're selling now or later, you can stay in control of that outcome. Learn how to make savvy home improvements, utilize market trends to your advantage. Plus, I'll share tips on making extra mortgage payments and leveraging home equity loans responsibly. The bottom line is this: continued price increases combined with that low inventory have created a window where many homeowners are sitting on substantial equity. For sellers, that equity can translate into opportunities, flexibility, and strong negotiating power. So understanding where you stand today allows you to decide whether now is the right time to sell and how to make the most of the position you are in. Make sure you reach out to me directly if you want specific details about your home and how much equity it has right now. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day.